Hi Flosstube, it's Bernie here, hooking and stitching. Today is Tuesday the 20th of June and I'm here for a cross-stitchy update. It's a bit later than I wanted it to be. I was hoping to do this video at the end of May, but there's just been so much else happening. I'm not going to apologise. I've been a bit selfish. If the weather's been decent, I've got on and done other things. My mum rang me once, should we go out for lunch, it's your day off? Yeah, okay, I was going to film, but all right, I'll go out. And then I have been rather busy with the new edition. You may have just seen a flick of a tail just there. So I mentioned in my last video that we were getting a new kitten, and he's here. He's been with us for about 5 weeks I think now, and he totally rules the house. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I'm addicted to ragdoll cats. I've got 3 already, 3 adult ragdolls. They're all upstairs at the moment. I don't think they'll be putting in an appearance, but I had the opportunity to come up to take on another kitten, and yeah, I couldn't resist it. My husband didn't want to. He said, no, we've got enough cats, we don't need any more cats. And I said, I don't need another cat, I want another cat. So are you going to come and say hello? So his name's Gizmo. He's now 5 months old and he's a red point ragdoll. He's currently kicking one of his toys around on the floor down there. I'm pretty sure he will join me soon, so I won't pick him up just yet. He's so inquisitive, he will come and see what I'm doing. Who are you talking to? What are you doing? Why are you sat there? So fully expect him to join in and jump on me. So I've got quite a bit to show you because obviously it's been a little while. I've got quite a few whip bags here at the side of me. I've got a couple of new starts. I've also been doing some crochet, which I haven't done for a while. There was a funny story. Turns out that somebody bought something off somebody I know, luckily. She bought a blanket off my Etsy shop the day after my husband took said blanket out of my box of stock and gave it to one of his work friends who just had a baby. So I had to remake said blankets pretty quick. I did explain to my friend who bought it, so I'm so sorry, my husband's just given that one away. Do you want to choose another one or do you want me to remake it? And she said she'd like me to remake it, so I had to whip up another blanket pretty quick. So yeah, I crocheted solid for about a week and a half. Didn't do any stitching that week, but yeah, got it made. And then yeah, the bug was back, so I've been doing a bit more crochet, so we'll get into that towards the end. I haven't really got anything in the way of haul. Funnily enough, it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. My husband bought me the last 2 boxes of the pip and chip bobbins that I hadn't got, so I've now got the whole set of DMC pip and chip bobbins, which are brilliant, the plastic ones. They're over there in my my Bisley cabinet. If you came to retreat, you'll know that I brought that with me because it's just easy to carry all my threads around with it. And my mum gave me a voucher for Lakeside Needlecraft, so once I'd bobbinated up all the threads that I'd got, I looked at all the blank bobbins, wrote them all down and ordered the floss up to the value of the voucher. I've not got many left and then I'll have the full set of DMC. So I'm very close, only less than 50 to go, so it's probably even less than that, to be honest. But anyway, shall we crack on and I'll show you my whips, and then if Gizmo decides to jump up, which I'm sure he will when I start getting things out of bags, won't you? Because he's such a little beastie and he's into everything, absolutely everything. I'll explain a bit more about him later. Right, so first whip to show you is a new start. So I mentioned this, I think this was in my haul on my last video, and I can't think who it's by. It says Happy Mood Point, but this is Love Is Here, and I got this off of Etsy. I mentioned it to Elaine, Ellie Welly Stitcher, because it's got sheep on it and Elaine likes sheep. So I bought the pattern last time I saw you, but I think I was waiting for... I think I got fabric. I think the fabric had arrived. I just needed to start it. And I mentioned to Elaine whether she wanted to do a stitch along. She said, yeah, let me know when you want to start. I'd already started it. Sorry, Elaine, I couldn't resist. So I'm doing this on 32 count platinum by Zweigart. And there's no before picture because it was a new start. And here's where I am now. Sorry about the creased fabric. But I've got the majority of the house, the little sheep that's on the roof, and then that heart just above the house. I think that was probably the centre point of the design. So really enjoying that one. Nice little, be a fairly quick stitch I would have thought, although the border might be a bit time consuming. But I think the only thing I changed in this one, I think the sheep were charted in ecru. I've got it on Pattern Keeper, so I haven't got the chart info with me here, but I thought ecru is just not going to show up that well for a sheep colour, and I must admit in the pattern that doesn't look like ecru to me. So I went with I think it's 3865 rather than going for like a bright white. I went for 3865 because it's like a creamy white. I thought that was far more appropriate for sheep. So pleased with how that one's come along. I think this was the first time using my new Nudge hoop. I think I showed you that last time. You can see the outline of it. It holds the fabric tight, I can tell you that. I'm going to put these away when I've done. I'm just going to pile them up for now. Oh, I tell you what, it's absolutely miserable here today. This is the part of the reason I've been able to film. If it was nice weather, I'd probably have been up riding the horses, because I've started riding again since my accident. But we've had a few storms here in the UK recently, and yeah, it's absolutely tipping it down this morning. It's due to clear up by about lunchtime, but for now, yeah, it's everywhere. It was flooding over Sunday night. It really came down, and then last night, I think there was some overnight, and then yeah, now it's absolutely pounding it down. It has been for several hours now. But the grass needs it, so I'm not complaining. Right, next one to show you is Northern Expressions Needleworks Twisted Band Sampler. This one's a current whip, so I will pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And I got some good work done on this. I got the whole of the specialty threads finished on the next band. So here it is now. So I'm stitching this on 32 count Dove Grey, Murano I think it is. That's what I got. Is it Dove Grey? No, Silver Moon? Might be Silver Moon, I can't remember. It's the light grey colour. I've used it several times. I'm sure it's called Silver Moon or something along those lines. I tend to get it from Wool Warehouse because they do nice this size for a good price. So yes, I finished that orange specialty stitch band there. That was really good. Oh no, I haven't. No, I've still got the outside to do. Yeah, I've still got the outside to do. I think actually I need some more of the floss. I think that's 922 and I'm nearly out. It used quite a lot. But we're virtually, I think this is like the top corner. So we're getting to the point where that's as long as a band is going to be. But yeah, really pleased with how this is coming along. It's really, those specialty stitches are so much fun. Honestly, if you're not sure about this pattern, because they do it in just a cross stitch version as well as the specialty stitch version, the directions are so easy to follow. It really makes it clear. And once you've done it a couple of times, you just whiz along. I mean, I'd never done eyelets or, I can't think what these stitches are called, but hadn't done any of these. Road stitches, I think some of them are. Like fan stitches. I've never done anything like that. In any I think the most I've ever done is like a Smyrna cross. So to just pick it up, and then once I've done it 2 or 3 times, I don't even need the directions anymore. I know exactly where I'm going. And one of them, this that one there in the middle, I don't know if you can see, I don't think it's going to be focused on it, but there's like 25 steps. But again, once you've done it a few times, you know, I go up that hole, down that, up, down, up, and before you know it, you've done it. It's really quite simple. So yeah, I highly recommend giving it a go if you want to try something with specialty threads. Plus the colours are just beautiful in this one. It's nice. Right, next. I don't know what happened to this. Now this is the project I was keeping in the car, and I think it got wet. So I need to have a sort out of this one. I've bought it because there is some work done on it and the fabric's fine. But yeah, my copy is just awful. And yeah, look. It's like that something's got wet and made the highlighter run. And I think the threads are okay. I mean, DMC is great anyway, isn't it? So yeah, there's nothing wrong with those. But yeah, the pattern needs some work. I mean, that's my working copy. You can see where I've been highlighting. Yeah, it's all... So yeah, I think it's got wet in my car, whether one of the kids has spilt a water bottle or something in the back of the car, and it's just ruined it. But I'll show you what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And there it is now. It's still in the hoop. Oh, let's hold it straight. Are you going to bed now? Giz, you can't go to bed. People want to see you. He's gone and sat up on the cat tree. I'll have to grab him in a bit then if he doesn't come back down of his own accord. So yeah, not loads done on this because once all the pattern and everything got ruined, I took it out of the car and I haven't worked on it since. In fact, I started crocheting in the car instead because it's actually easier. I just take the bag of yarn, I've got a pair of scissors in the car and my hook, and it's so much easier to just crochet in the car rather than cross stitch, where I've got a highlighter and I have my scissors to cut the thread and then all my threads, and yeah. So I think it's coming out. Oh, I didn't explain what this one's called, did I? This is Summer House by Brooks Books. So if you've followed me for any length of time, you'll know that I completed Autumn House a long time ago. I finished Winter House. I've now got, I think I've finished Spring House. I just haven't fully finished it. This is the last one to go, Summer House. So I have a little easel up near my desk at work. And so far I've only got the autumn and winter one to put up. I need the spring and summer one so that I can change it every 3 months. But yeah, it's a nice little project. This is just 14, oh, it has stained my fabric. Just seeing, I don't know if you can see, yeah. God knows what's happened there. But that's not going to be in the main design anyway. Anyway, 14 count Blue Ada, light Blue Ada, that's what that one's on, because I started the first one on 14 count, so I wanted them all to be the same size. So there we go. Gizmo! Where's he going to sleep? I will fetch him down before I finish the video so you can see him. Right, next one. Everybody knows what's in this bag. My son's actually getting quite angsty now. He's like, is it nearly finished, Mum? So I'm working on it. So this is Baby Yoda, or Grogu, and this was by an Etsy seller, but I don't think it's available anymore. I think there's probably a bit of a copyright issue on it, and it's been taken down, but that's not going to stop me from stitching it. So I'll pop a picture of this, what this one looked like last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. So I've been working on his pod. So down at the bottom of that hand, along to the buttons in the middle. And yeah, unfortunately it is just sort of all whitey light grey colours now. It's a little bit boring now. I finished the actual Yoda himself, Baby Yoda himself. But it's still a gorgeous stitch. I love this fabric still. This is 32 count Creationist Purple by Fabric Flair. I thought this was absolutely perfect for this piece. See, it looks, yeah, like he's in the sky, in the night sky. And it's gorgeous. I'm doing this 2/2, full crosses in DMC. And yeah. It comes out, it gets a few days. It's on Pattern Keeper, so it's nice and easy. And yeah, I've been working on all that bit down there. There's actually quite a lot of stitches in there. But I think this is well over 50% now. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it's well over 50%. So just got to keep cracking on with it, haven't I? And then promised I will have it framed for my son's bedroom. It'd be nice if I can perhaps get this framed in a round mat, because it was designed to be round. That would work well. A sip of my drink. Oh, I think the rain's starting to slow down a bit. I even had to put the big lights on in here because it's just so dark. It's unheard of in June, especially with the weather we've been having. So, next one is in my Seaside bag. All the seasidey shapes. And this is a full coverage Heaven and Earth Designs, and this is Mini Mermaid at Sunset by Elena Lazareva. Yep. Been working on this one for a few years now. And again, this one's coming up to 60%, I think, when I looked. Popping a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. So that's coming along really well. I started doing the Royal Rose method, as I've mentioned a few videos ago, and I really enjoy how it works up. It's where you do towers of 2. So I'm working on this tower here, then I'll move across and do that tower and all the way to the end, and then I'll come back over here. And these are my parked threads from the towers above. I don't always park directly below. I do sometimes carry it over to the side, just so that I've not got those the lines in my fabric. So I mean, that's the back. It's not liney, which would cause issues. This is on 25 count easy count by Zweigart, and I'm doing it 1/1 full cross. Discovered that is my favourite for Heaven and Earth designs. I know some people really like to do them in tent. I've only got one project in tent, and I must admit I don't enjoy doing it as much. I prefer the full cross, which I know tent's faster, but you work with what you work. You do you, don't you? You work with what you enjoy doing, and I prefer full cross. So 1/1 full cross on 25 count is the way forward for me with Heaven and Earth designs. But yeah, really pleased again with how that one's. In fact, I did put a few stitches in that one this morning. It was still on the frame. I got a couple of heart threads in the current tower, so I thought, oh, let's just finish those part threads before I put it away again. Right, oh, next one. There's lots of stories behind this one now. So my next one is Final Fantasy VII characters by Servo Stitches on Etsy. Now I'm stitching this for my brother. He doesn't know, and I don't think he watches my videos. I think he'd have said something by now if he did. And if you've seen previous videos, you know I've got an issue with my fabric size. I didn't pick the right, I thought it was a 32 count, but it's 28 count. So yeah, I've got to do a bit of cutting and stitching with my fabric to make it a bit more square. But yeah, currently working on this one. It's a light blue even weave. And I've been working, I finished Barrett last time you saw me, and I'm working on Eris now, down at the bottom. Sorry, I'll have put a picture in of what it looked like last time, even if I haven't said it. But yeah, because this is the end, and this is a bit close to the edge. But what I'm going to do is, because the fabric's longer than it needs to be, I'm going to chop that bit off the bottom, sew it on the side, and it'll just make it easier for framing and for stitching the characters on that side. But, so further stories, I've said I've just had my birthday, and for part of my birthday present, my husband bought me this game. I used to play this game when I was a young teen, because I think it's 1997, this game. So it's coming up for 30 years old. But yeah, it was like an obsession when I was a teenager, and we discovered you could get the original game but on the Nintendo Switch. Which we've got 2 of in the house. So my husband bought it me for my birthday, and I must admit, when I'm not stitching, I am playing on that game, and I'm a third of the way into it now. And yeah, one of the characters, if you've ever played the game, one of the characters has just died. One of the main characters, somebody off this picture, has just died. It's a bit sad, but that's where I'm at in the game. But yeah, really enjoying stitching on this. Because I reckon the characters mean something to me. So when I next pick this up, I'll finish Eris down here. And I'll probably move on to the middle guy, which is Red 13. They call it a cat-like creature in some of the descriptions, but he howls. He's a dog. He's like a wolf. It's definitely not cat-like. Definitely more of a dog. That's cat-like. That's cat-safe. But yes, thoroughly enjoying working on this for my brother. I am doing all the borders, because why not? I love this blue. It's 995, I think. It's a really like electric blue. So I had to do the borders in that colour. And I am doing, it is full coverage. It was suggested to me to not do the white background because it's obvious where the white background is. But because I've done it on a light blue fabric, I thought, no, actually I will stitch it. And yeah, call it a full coverage piece. So yeah, 2 over 2 on its 28 count, not 32 count, like I originally thought it would be. Because had it been 32 count, I'd have had about that much border on this side. But never mind, you live and learn. Always check your fabric, people. Right, next. This is my Halloween bag. Made this bag myself. I absolutely adore it. It's my pumpkin bag. I need to do myself... oh no, I've done a zipper pull for this one. I actually sent one of these off to New Zealand a few weeks ago. And the ladies let me know recently that it's arrived. One of my zipper pulls from my Etsy shop all the way to New Zealand. So in this bag I have closest thing to Halloween that I stitch, and that is Nora Corbett's Gwen. She's part of the Bewitching Pixies collection, and I just adore that green dress. It's so pretty, and this has beads in it as well. And I chose a really unusual piece of fabric for this one. When I had the fabric, I decided something Halloweeny needed to go on it. So I picked up the fabric from Sparkly's when I was at it was the knitting and stitching show at Harrogate. Anyway, I'm popping a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here she is now. So I was a little bit concerned about how things would show up against this fabric, but actually I think it works lovely. And I think this will be brilliant framed once it's finished. So I was working on her dress down here, and I've been leaving gaps for the beads and things. I haven't backstitched her face yet. Maybe that's something I need to do next time. That'll make her really pop. But yeah, those greens are just something else. And once I've done all the stitching, I shall do the beading. I tend to leave it till the end because I'm stitching Q-snaps or nerd hoops now. Yeah, loving working on that. This is a 32 count fabric, and I think it's called Dark Goddess. I'll keep the label. Yeah, Dark Goddess by Sparkly's. And yeah, 32 count even weave. And I just absolutely love that colour. And just look at that. Gorgeous. Yes, I think it shows up well. Really pleased with the choice on that one. But she's coming along nicely as well. She's my second Nora Corbett. Obviously I've finished Snapdragon. She's not a bewitching pixie. She's a... Oh, what type of pixie is she? She's a... I can't remember what they call them now, like a fairy pixie. And I do need to do another one of those soon. I have been looking at which one's going to be my next one. And I want another one that looks from the back. I've seen one and I'm sure it's in yellows. I can't think what it's called now, but I've got it like saved on 123 Stitch, so that'll be my next one. But I'd like to finish this one before I move on to the next one. Right, only a couple more to go. I'm whizzing through these today. I'm not doing too badly at all for time. It's always nice to, I know some people like to see a longer video, but a shorter video is far easier to edit and upload. It doesn't take hours. So the next one is my next new start. Treat myself to another new start. And this is, again, a chart that I bought and showed you in my haul last time. This is the Prairie Schooler Harvest Time. And I wanted this chart for this particular pattern here. That's the one I like. The autumn, autumn's my favourite season. I'm always drawn to stuff with autumn colours. So, yeah, I wanted to do the autumn scene with the horse pulling the cart. Here's a close-up for you. If it's going to focus, come on. And it's not focusing, is it? You're going to focus on my... Yeah, the picture. But yeah, gorgeous autumn, because they do this chart. There's another one that looks like it, but it's different colours. Whether I'll do that one, I don't know. But the only thing I don't like about this one is paper charts. I prefer working on Pattern Keeper. But anyway, it was a new start, so there is no before picture. But here's where I am now. In fact, let me just fold these bits in because it's not that wide. So I've been working on the church in the middle and the tree and some of the trees above it. This is 18 count cream Ada by Zweigart, and I'm doing it 2/2, and I just adore those colours. And I've even backstitched the church look as I've gone along. I've backstitched it, being very good there. But yeah, in fact, just looking at this one now, I want to start working on it again today because I really like the colours in this one. It's so pretty, and I just, yeah, I love how it looks against this fabric. Again, this will be one that I have up displayed in the autumn months, maybe even all year round, if I can get away with it. But yeah, I love how the fabric, the stitches are really standing up against that fabric, especially in that church. It's like popping off the fabric. But yes, another new start, like I needed any more. But then I always justify it by saying, you know, lots of other Flosstubers there have tens more projects than I do, so sod it. Right, last one. What's this one? I can't remember now. Oh yes, my Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty sal. This was the 2021 sal that they did, where they said you can either do it in 2 colours or 1 colour. I've gone for 2 colours. And I'm doing this on 25 count cream even weave 1/1. So mine's actually going to be fairly small in comparison to some of the others you may have seen, because my stitches are itty bitty. I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it, and here it is now. So that again is coming along nicely. I adore these colours, and again I want to work on this one again now. I can't decide what I'm going to work on today. Which one do I put in the frame? Or should I put something in the frame that I haven't worked on, like my big head that's still sitting behind the living room door where it lives, because I haven't worked on it, because I'm worried that a certain kitten's going to jump all over my frame while I'm working on it. But yeah, loving this. 2 colours I chose to do this are 34, because I just thought that was just such a gorgeous, like, magenta-y purple colour. It was when I'd got the pip and chip bobbin of this one, I was looking and said, oh, that's such a gorgeous colour, and then it took me ages to decide what to go with it, but I went for 3836. So those are my 2 colours, and I think they work together really well, and I think they work together with the creamy fabric rather than going for like a stark white. I thought the cream works well. It might be nice to, like, I don't know whether to have a matte in sort of this sort of colour when I get this one framed. Speaking of getting things framed, no I haven't. I spent all my money on a new cat. I will save up and get my darling framed soon. And I want to have Snapdragon framed soon. And there was another one I finished recently, and I can't think which one it is. It'll come to me later, I'm sure. So that's all the stitching. So if you're just here for stitching, that was all the cross stitching. I'll show you some crochet next, and then I'll get the kitten because he has fell asleep. I can't believe he isn't here bothering me. He spent all morning bothering me. I was trying to do my hair and my makeup this morning, and he's on the dresser, he's in front of the mirror, he's sniffing my face, and I'm having to move away from him with the straighteners because I'm worried about burning him because he'll just touch it without thinking. You know, trying to sort the laundry out and he's jumping in and out of the basket, trying to load the dishwasher, he gets in the dishwasher. Oh, he's a nightmare. And then I come to sit and film and think he'll be all over me here, at least everybody gets to see him, and he's gone to sleep. Typical. Right, so crochet wise, I've got a couple of fully finished blankets that I've made since I saw you last. So the first one is a take on a granny square blanket. Here it is. So I started out by doing these granny squares, so with a single colour in the middle, and then the joining and the main colour around the outside, and I did 5 with that colour, and then another 5 with that, and another 5 with that, and then another 5 with that. Put them all together and joined them all together, and then I went round the outside, treat it like a granny square again, round the outside, changed the colour and then around the outside again, and then finished with a crab stitch border, which is what that is. It's basically, it's a reverse single crochet or double crochet in the US, and you go backwards, and that's what creates that lovely, if you can see it very well, it's like a twisted, but it makes a lovely edge to a blanket if you don't want anything too frilly. So because I sort of thought that's more masculine colours, it'd be perfectly fine for a baby girl, but I always envisaged this being for a baby boy, and I think I don't want a frilly scalloped edge to my blanket if it's going to be for a boy. So this one will be going into my Etsy shop. I just need to take some photos of it. Today is not the best day to take photos of it because it's miserable. As soon as the weather's a bit better, this will be going up in my Etsy shop. So if you like the look of it and know somebody having a baby soon, then please buy it. That would be great. But so that one's that one. The colours I've used, this is all in Stylecraft Special DK because that's my go-to yarn, and this is Hint of Silver, Mushroom, Parchment, Duck Egg and Parma Violet, and that's just a beautiful like muted, almost looks brown in the camera. That's the Parchment. It is, yeah, that's a bit more true to it, but yeah, I adore those colours. It's a lovely soft blanket, and then I went for something really bright. Why not? Sometimes you want to stitch for bright colours. So I made this one. This is a fan and feather stitch blanket, and what it is it's like a ripple, but it's got gaps in it as well. So you put too many stitches in one, and then you go over and you skip stitches to make the gaps. There's loads of free tutorials on YouTube and Ravelry and stuff like that on how to do this, the fan and feather stitch. And again, Stylecraft Special DK, I want to say that's Wisteria, Blush Pink, begins with an S. No, it's not Sunset. What's it? Saffron. Saffron, no, it began with an S. Citron, and actually I think that's Wisteria, and the dark is there's two purpley colours, and then that's Bluebell, I do believe. And I finished this one off with a puff stitch edge, you can see there, and it's still got its wavy edge to the top and bottom. So again, this one will be going in my Etsy shop too, looking for a new home. But yeah, such bright and sunny colours. And then I've got a whip on the go, which has been living in my car. Although, because it's been so hot recently, I haven't been able to do it. I can't crochet when it's hot because my fingers get clammy, and then the yarn squeaks. It's horrible, and it doesn't smooth. Today's fine for doing it, but when it's too hot, I can't crochet. So I tend to do more cross stitch when it's hot. But hook stuck in there. This has been in the car with me, and this is where we're at. So it's another fan and feather, but this one is in Aspen, Cypress, I think it's called Warm Grey, White and Spring Green. So again, this one's probably more masculine. But yeah, just worked up and down, up along the rows, and then I sew in the ends afterwards. There's all my ends. And then put the border on it. But yes, I was quite relieved that I found my crochet bug again. And I'm going to have to make some more soon as well. I've got 2 friends that have just announced their due babies in December. So if they find out what the sex is, then I'll make blankets with that in mind. If they decide not to, then I'll make some neutral blankets. But yes, I will have to make a couple of blankets in the coming months in order to give to my friends. Yeah, one of them's my daughter's best friend's mum. She's having another baby, so that's lovely, and the other one is actually our riding instructor. She's yeah, she's just announced she's having a baby, but yeah, not till December, so we've got a bit of time yet, which is nice. Right, I think that's about it. As I mentioned, I didn't really have any haul other than stuff I got for my birthday. and a new cat who I will now fetch so I can introduce you to him. Kiss, kiss! Kiss, kiss, kiss! No. Bear with. Ooh, so this is Gizmo. So he's a 5-month-old red point ragdoll, and he is an absolute poppet. He's into everything, aren't you, as kittens should be, but we've never known a kitten like him. He's so affectionate, aren't you? You could, if I just lean back, oh, you just go sleeps there, won't you? And he's an absolute dustbin. He eats absolutely everything, and you can't fill him up. I can hear you snoring. He's snoring. So yes, he's been known to eat Marmite on toast, lemon curd on toast, cornflakes, peas. Absolutely adores cheese, don't you? I can't eat a piece of cheese without him having some. Can he? And you're not supposed to have cheese because it's bad for kittens. It is bad for kittens. He's very vocal. Likes to go around squeaking, don't you? He likes to play fetch, carries his ball around and stuff, don't you? Where's your ball? Ball obsessed. He's also TV obsessed. If we're watching like the Formula 1, he's watching it as it goes by. I think he'd enjoy snooker because he's ball obsessed. And sometimes I put what's called cat TV on for him on YouTube. You want to get down, don't you, sweetie? All right, okay. And yeah, he likes a bit of cat TV, don't you? Likes to watch the birdies, don't you? The other cats have all accepted him. You are an absolute poppet, aren't you? Mitzi first, she thought he was all right to play with. And then Darcy, surprisingly, she's playing with him despite her being old. Bailey tolerates you, doesn't he? He doesn't want to play with you yet, but he'll tolerate him being there. You're sleepy, aren't you? We had a long night. I'm not surprised you woke Mummy and Daddy up at 4 o'clock, didn't you? Asking for breakfast. The other day he actually he woke me up by biting me. He bit my cheek because I was deliberately ignoring him and kept rolling over. And no, you're not waking me up yet, no. So he bit me. Wasn't a hard bite, was it? But it was a get up bite because you wanted food, didn't you? Go on then. Go on the sofa. There you go. So yeah, that's Gizmo. I expect to see a lot of him. So he's into everything. I think if he wasn't so sleepy, he'd have been all over me while I'm trying to do the video. Kiss, kiss. Oh, we're thumping our tail now. We might be a bit annoyed that Mummy woke us up. Is that right? Coming back? No? Alright, we shall end this video here then. And I shall get it edited and uploaded as soon as possible. If you've got any questions, please feel free to send me a message. I will try and reply. I do read all the messages I get. I don't always reply, but I usually like them to show that I've read them and appreciated them. So comments are really appreciated. I am grateful. Thank you so much. And I don't normally like to ask this, but if anybody wants to buy me a coffee, my buy me a coffee link is below. That's all goes towards like giveaways and things like that. It's always helpful because I think I probably will be giving away some of my my charts that I've finished recently quite soon. And that's about it really. I don't think there's anything else left to tell you. It has just about stopped raining. It's still raining, but it's only very, very light now. So hopefully by lunchtime I should be able to go outside. Why do I want to go outside? I was thinking earlier the bin needs empty and I'm not going out in this. So yeah, I'll be able to empty the bin soon. But anyway, I shall love you and leave you there. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you like what you see, please feel free to hit the subscribe button. Do appreciate all my subscribers. And it was wonderful to chat with you today. I will hopefully be back again sooner than last time. Hopefully not leaving it like 6 weeks in between videos now that everything's sort of settling down a bit again. But great to see you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.